Hello, this is Sweet Serenity ASMR, and tonight I want to show you my plant collection, my indoor plants. It's more of an obsession, probably, than anything else. But tonight I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 plants to show you. And I'll just be talking about them, just giving maybe some facts about them for your enjoyment, hopefully. I do apologize about the camera quality and the microphone quality. I only am a college student, so I cannot really afford a better microphone at the moment. But I hope that you enjoy them nonetheless. I actually sometimes prefer ASMR videos that are lower quality because I think they have a certain ASMR-esque quality to it that I like. So, I'm going to start with hopefully what you can hear me tapping. Tap, 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 tap. And it's in a little box. It's in a little box. None of the other ones are in a box, but this is my succulent that I am trying to save. It started off with 5 succulents, and then my cat got a little crazy one night and tipped over the box, and almost all of them died, except for this little one. It's a little hard to see, I'm sorry. It's a little succulent. It's not doing too well either. But I think it is dying, but I'm still going to try to save it. So I will put it back because we really can't see it that well. Okay. Let me just move that one out of the way. It's also going to be misty, some of that. A mister. It is just a spray bottle from Walmart. So I'm going to set that back over here for now. So I'll start, I guess, with my oldest plants. I've had not all of these plants for a year. I started my collection over back in the very beginning of June, and maybe end of May. So the first one that I got, it's a little hard to get, is right here. This is my polka dot plant named Dottie. I have names for almost all of my plants, except this little succulent. I feel bad. Anyway, this is Dottie, and I have had her and this other one again, for a very long time so far. Well, not a really long time, but compared to all my other plants, the longest. Like I said, she is a beautiful polka dot plant. I recently cut her back not that long ago, and she's grown back pretty well. just going back forward, which is exactly what I wanted. So that's the good news. You're getting all weird on this one, Dottie. So, some fun facts about polka dot plants is that these polka dot plants are safe for cats. All of the plants tonight I'm going to show you except for one, excluding my succulent, are safe for pets. So if you have pets in your house, you can safely get these plants. Polka dot plants I really enjoy. They grow very fast and they're of course a very show-stopping piece because of their beautiful polka dots. I've seen polka dot plants come in white and like a hot pink, I guess. And I believe there's another color, but I don't remember what it is. If you know what the other color is, you can comment it if you would like. I do know I at one point looked it up, but can't remember it now, of course. So, but she's got many little tiny leaves which are hard to see, but very pretty. I would say that this is a very good beginner plant. If you're willing to dedicate just a little bit more maintenance to her, she's, for lack of a better word, a little dramatic. Polka dot plants can be. They do need a lot of water, but not too much water. You need to water them at least once a week, and then give them fertilizer every month in the winter, every 2 weeks in the summer or so. And that will help them to be better, of course. Water them whenever the soil is wet, or not wet, I'm sorry, dry. Whenever it's dry, you can just simply get out and water your plants. Now, polka dot plants also like to be very humid, so if you can, I would suggest a humidifier. I don't personally have a humidifier, but I am here at my house often enough where I can mist my plants. It creates their own little humidity. And I also created, this might make some interesting noises. I also created, there was more rocks in here, but my cat got to it, but these little saucers, if you put rocks in them, and then you can, when you're watering them, the water from the bottom of the drainage hole will go in here and it will create almost like a little humidity tray for them to evaporate. So that works pretty well as well. Let me think, do I know anything else about these? Not off the top of my head, but I think it is interesting that these plants actually get fuzzy a little bit near the bottom where the new stuff is growing. It gets fuzzy kind of, and it's cute. It's not a mold or anything, it's just the way the plant is. So that's Dottie. And then moving on to my next plant that I've had for a long time. Sorry, I'm trying to move them around the table. And as you can see, this is a much bigger plant. The reason that Dottie looks really small, I should actually probably talk about this. So, also, polka dot plants, they can grow a lot. And one of the things that you do need to do is actually trim them to make sure they don't get leggy, which is basically they'll have a long stem, only with a few leaves at the top. And when that happens, you just trim it way down at the base. And it's okay because when you trim a polka dot plant, whatever you trim off, double will come back. So if you're wondering why it looks smaller or anything, that's why. Next, some of you might recognize this plant, but this is a variegated spider plant. I believe that's the word is variegated. But this is my spider plant. His name is Spike. And I've also had him the same amount of time as I have had Dottie, which is since the beginning of June, end of May of last year. And Spike is very big. A large plant, as you can see, for just around not even a year old already. I think I'm already going to have to repot them. Spike here has been growing like crazy for no reason lately. But yeah, I would suggest a spider plant to everyone who wants to get a plant. They're really wonderful. They're very resilient plants, unlike the polka dot plants that are dramatic and they can wilt if you don't give them what they want when they want it. Spike here, or the spider plants, excuse me, are very hard to kill. They can withstand temperatures under 60 degrees, so about 50 degrees is about their limit. And so if it gets cold in your house, you don't have to worry about polka dot plants getting crazy or anything like that. Let me think here. They don't need a lot of water. They can go a while without being watered, about 2 weeks or so. If you forget to water it 1 week, no big deal. They're also, again, like I said, very resilient. If you accidentally start to kill your plant, they are really good at bouncing back. They will 100% bounce back for you usually. And they're also very fast growing plants. They do really well. Now, and spider plants also get these little, I guess, tubes. I guess is the word I would use. And they'll get little tiny, what they're called is spiderets, but they're like little tiny mini plants that they'll fall off. And that's the very typical image of spider plants that you see is the long little danglies. And my poor spider plant did have them, except my cat broke one of them off, and then I broke the other one off. So it no longer has them, but Spike will grow them back. Not a big deal. Spike has a lot of new leaves. As far as humidity goes, you don't really need a lot of humidity for this plant if you don't want it. Again, like I said, it's a pretty low maintenance plant, which makes it a very good starter plant. I would really highly recommend. Again, Dottie as well as Spike, polka dot plant and the spider plant are cat safe and pet safe in general, dog safe. So they are really great additions to basically any home. And also, Spike is a really good statement piece if you want a nice hanging, very dangly plant in your house. I am going for a full urban jungle if possible, because I live in the city and I'm actually from the country originally, so I would love to have my house filled with plants. So, let me think. Is there anything else? Oh, As far as care, I guess I would say maintenance. Spike, sorry, um, spider plants don't really need a lot of maintenance. They're pretty low maintenance plants. The only thing I would say to watch out for is the roots of this plant. So if you have them in a terracotta pot like I do right now, you do need to be careful when they start getting bigger like this. You need to watch to see if the roots get above the soil line. That means you need to give them a new pot because the way that their roots are, they have special roots and they can actually break the terracotta pot. If you don't give them enough room, they'll break the pot. That's why when they're bigger, I would suggest a plastic pot, more preferably like a cement or ceramic pot, something that's really going to withstand a lot. Because terracotta pots are pretty fragile for the most part, so you want something a little more sturdy than this, just to be on the safe side. So next, I'm going to get a little bit better pot for Spike. Okay, so I think that's all to cover on Spike, my spider plant. So, sorry, I'm going to switch around plants here real quickly. A little difficult. Got a lot of plants on the table. Doesn't seem like a lot, but it very much is when they're all on the table. So let me just, Spike's just got a lot of long little things that I gotta watch out for. Okay, so my next plant is very tall, but this is a money tree. So let me hold it up for you. This is a money tree, and I got this, well, I don't know, about 2 months after I got the other two I just showed you. This was from Aldi's. It was $5. It was definitely smaller. It was about this big. Now it's past the camera. You can't even see it. So it's about 1.5 feet tall. So actually, there's some fun facts about this plant. I really like this plant. It's actually not a plant. It's actually a tree. Money trees are actually trees. They're not just called money trees. If you didn't know, now you know. So, oh boy, my kitty's up here. No, okay. She's by the plant that she can't be near. So, anyway, like I was saying, this is a money tree, and it is a wonderful plant. Again, I think it's just a great plant to have in your house. Where to start? Let me think here. So this is usually the plant that you see that has the braided trunks, or the trunks that are just intertwined in some way. And you technically don't have to intertwine the branches if you don't want to, but it does just help to create a lot more stable tree in general, especially if you want it to grow very tall or you want it to grow a certain way, then that's how you do it. So, money trees. They have 5 leaves. Let me see if I can get a good picture. Right here you can see all the leaves. 2, 3, 4, 5. Excuse me. And having those 5 leaves is to be very good luck. This plant is known for apparently having good luck, but also actually creating a lot of nice feng shui in your house. And honestly, I feel that with this plant. I really love this plant. This tree. I think it adds a lot to my household. And it's just really great. Um, and I don't know if you can see, but there is actually starting to be wood forming higher and higher up. And that's kind of what they'll do. They'll start off as this green, but then they'll go to this beautiful brown and get this bark. So money trees right now, I've got mine tied to help it go into the shape that I want. And I also just pruned my money tree. By the way, my tree's name is Lolly, which is an older word for money. I don't remember if it's an old English word or if it's just an older term. I don't, as in like an old world word, I guess. But anyway, I just was pruning my money tree, Lolly, because I want her slash him, it's just a they, to grow high. So with money trees, you can either let them grow out to get this beautiful foliage, or you can prune them up pretty high in order to get them to grow taller. So depending on what you want and depending on how tall you want your tree, you will prune them accordingly and help them along. Many trees can grow to be a low of, I think, 2.5 to 3 feet, or as tall as 6 to 7 feet indoors in captivity, I guess is what I'll say. But in the wild, these trees will actually grow to be about 60 feet tall. So, again, like I said, these are actual trees. So, and you can kind of tell them how to grow and how big they're going to grow. Again, I want Lolly to be as tall as possible. I have Lolly here in an 8-inch pot. It is a plastic pot. Unfortunately, I don't like using plastic stuff. I don't have to. I'm pretty eco-friendly. But the one that I did have, my cat knocked over, and it was only a 1.5 foot drop, but it broke. So I had to quickly order in the middle of a season, like gardening time, a pot, and this is the only one I could get for cheap. So, money trees, as far as humidity goes, they do like humidity. They would prefer humidity. They prefer warmer temperatures, anywhere from about 68 degrees and higher they prefer. They can be a little lower, but their ideal temperature is probably about 70 degrees, 75, which is good because in the winter, because I'm on the 3rd floor of a brick building, my apartment is always very warm, so it's almost about 70 all the time. So Lolly really enjoys the temperature. As far as, again, like I said, humidity, I do spray Lolly. I spray all of my plants actually multiple times a day. As far as watering though goes, Lolly doesn't always need to have water every single week. Lolly can go sometimes, about 2 weeks or so without getting watered. It just really depends on what time of year it is, and if Lolly's also by a heater, that can make a big difference for any plant. If they're by a heater, they will probably need more water. Sorry, that was my fridge, in case you heard that. But money trees are just really cool. They do grow pretty fast. So if you like plants that grow very fast, I would suggest, again, money trees or spider plants or polka dot plants. They all grow very quickly, and it's just really fun. And again, like I said, maintenance for money trees is a little bit higher because of the fact that you need to intertwine these or braid them, whichever way you want to do it, in order for them to do what you want. And you have to prune them. If if you want them to grow taller or out. So they do need maintenance, but it's not very often that you have to do that. It's really not often at all. If I'm being completely honest here, it's really not often. So if you're worried about it, don't be worried about it. They will grow. They'll be fine. So let me think. Is there anything else? I don't think so right now. But anyway, that's my money tree. Let me just try to move Spike out for money trees also prefer bright indirect light. Again, all of the plants that I've shown you prefer bright indirect light, which is perfect in the wintertime for me because my my windows get perfect bright indirect light here. So we're gonna move on to my next plant that I got in December, which is a hanging plant, as you can see. I have a lot of hanging macrame planters, and this is my Christmas cactus. This is my Christmas cactus named Petunia. And Petunia is, again, like I said, only have had her since December. Now, if you see any weird leaves, because one of my cats really enjoys chewing on this plant, and I don't really know why. My other plants, my cats tried to chew on often for about 6 months, so it might have to be 6 months before they stop chewing on Petunia. But this is my Christmas cactus, and like I said, I like to hang it up. So Christmas cactuses are very interesting, and the reason being is a lot of people think because they're a cactus, they're in a desert area or that they're don't need water, but that is actually not true for Christmas cactuses. They actually come from tropical regions, and they actually love humidity, and they love getting water. And so, they are pretty much just like my other plants. They enjoy that humidity. As far as watering goes, I water all of my plants once a week and fertilize once a month, unless it's summertime, then maybe a little more often. So, Christmas cactuses also enjoy medium light. Christmas cactuses can actually grow to be pretty big, but and they grow all the time. They are considered an annual because they do bloom, but it's annually, only once a year. And the way they get these plants to bloom is a little difficult. I would say you have to, I think, starting in October, November, somewhere around there, you have to start putting them in a cool, dark room for 15 hours a day. And then you can bring them out for light until they start getting buds on them, like little pink or white or red buds, depending on what color, or purple. I think I've seen purple, like a light purple, until you see the buds from the flowers start to form. And then, once they do form, you can take them out and put them in the sunlight, and they will do just fine and they'll bloom. I did have my Christmas cactus bloom this year, It was blooming when I got it, so I did get to see the flowers. It was very pretty. But for the rest of the year, it does just stay this very beautiful green color, just like the other kids. I really enjoy how beautiful and unique Christmas cactuses are. I think people kind of think they're a little bit boring sometimes, but I just think they're stunning. They're just all their own. Also, if you see white spots, which I don't think you can, but don't worry, it's just from me misting them. It's nothing hurting them, just from the mist. I do wipe it off. It's just like some calcium, so don't worry about that. Yes, so as far as maintenance goes, these are very, very low maintenance plants. You don't have to prune them, you don't really have to do anything to them because they're actually a very slow growing plant. So if you want something that is going to grow a little slower for your taste, then this is a great plant. Again, these are pet safe plants, as long as they don't get down to the root of the plant, which goes for most plants, but especially Christmas cactuses, you don't want them eating the roots. But they are safe in case your pet gnaws on them like my cat does when she sees it. It is safe, so you don't have to worry about that. But let me think here. Oh, yes. You only need to repot Christmas cactuses every 3 years because their roots, they love to be trapped. They like to be pot bound. So only about every 3 years do you ever need to change the pot. So basically it's going to be 2023 by the time I need to replant my Christmas cactus here. Again, she enjoys bright and direct light, same as my others. Again, humidity. I like to mist multiple times every day if I can. And then that's about it for Petunia. She's very low maintenance, she's very sweet, and she does a beautiful job of just being nice and green. Move her over. Oh, I also wanted to mention that Spike, the spider plant, is a air purifying plant, which is really nice. So if you have problems with air quality where you live, maybe it's a really good idea to actually get some of those plants. It's also just really fun, I think, to have plants. And finally, my last plant, is this plant, which is my newest plant. Sorry, let me get this situated first. Here. Sorry if it's loud. This is my golden pothos plant. So, this is the only plant that I have that is not cat safe, that is actually easily accessible, as in it's not in a container like my succulent is where I can have a lid. Sorry. But this plant is always hanging up. As you can see, it's in a hanging basket. It never comes down, and it's much higher than my cats can ever reach. So I do have it hanging up all the time. It never comes down. But I wanted to get a golden pothos because I think they are stunning plants. And also, if you don't have pets, they're actually a really, really good beginner plant because they grow very fast and they don't need a lot, really. They need water and they like humidity, just like my other plants. But even better is that the golden pothoses, or just pothoses in general, they actually need low light. They actually don't need bright indirect light. They can do low light and they'll be just fine. So You can put them in an area that has lower light but still gets some light in them. They'll grow fine. This is a very vining plant, so it actually has roots that, depending on what you do with the plant, so if you put like a stake in the middle, the vines will actually grow upwards. But if you have it in a hanging pot like this, they will actually grow downwards. They can kind of adapt either way, which is kind of cool, and it's really nice. My mom has hers actually on a pole that will grow up. It's not a very big pole, but does grow up it. I also really think that the way these plants get leaves is really interesting. I've never seen this. It comes like out of the side right here. I don't know if you can see that. It's really kind of hard to see, but it comes out of this little side shoot and it boom, produces a new leaf. And this one even has one right here. I don't know if you can see that. It's kind of hard to see, but I just think that's so interesting. Let me see though. Another fact about this plant is, I mean, these can get pretty big depending on your definition of big. They can easily get like 2 to 3 feet long if you want them to, but you don't have to. You can prune them back if you want them shorter. They do have aerial roots, which means that, like, for instance, at some point there might be some roots. Actually, there already is. Little baby ones here. They'll just have roots there. So if you cut it off after the root, you can actually propagate these plants pretty easily. Oh, I should talk about propagation. I should. We'll do that in a minute. But I just think these are beautiful. This has, again, this is called a golden pothos because it does get yellow and leaves like this. Is very stunning. I got this one actually from Whole Foods. It was about $10 and it was doing a lot rougher than what you see. There's a lot of brown spots on the leaves and some browning leaves. And so these ones over here are the older leaves. So you can kind of see some of the browns. I don't know if you can see that a little bit. It was actually being overwatered because this pot that came in actually doesn't have a drainage hole and there was no rocks in the bottom. And so when it got overwatered, it might be getting a little bit of root rot. So what I did, of course, is I put it to make sure that it actually fit in this pot. I got some new soil in there. I just put some well-draining soil in there for now, just so that it would kind of help with that drainage. And then I also put about an inch or half an inch of rock in the bottom of this for drainage. And that really helped, and it's doing completely fine now. There's no brown spots on any of the brand new leaves. Let me see. I mean, this one's a brand new leaf over here. Let me find another one here. Where's my other brand new leaf? Oh, right here. This little one in here. Can't really see it, but it is a brand new leaf. All of the brand new leaves, again, they don't have any brown on them whatsoever. They're doing, I mean, they do over here just because that's the area that they came out of, like that little slit or shoot. And I think that's normal for these plants. But anyway, I think that's it for this plant, but like I said though, I should probably talk about propagation. I forgot to do that. Polka dot plants are very easy to propagate. All you really have to do is take a cutting and you can either put it in water or what I personally do, what works for me, is I put it in a nice, really well draining soil, like a cactus soil or succulent soil and put it in there and trap it so it has a lot of humidity. And eventually it'll actually root, and then that's when you can transplant it. It can become a new plant, or you can actually put it back into the pot with the original plant, which is what I do, to make the plant look a lot fuller. So with the spider plants, again, like I said, they'll have like little tubes coming up, and then they'll form like little spiderets. And those little spiderets are actually mini plants. So once you see that there's actually roots, and they'll be kind of like tubes, I guess. You can look it up if you want. But you can plant that and it will start its own little new plant, which is really great. We already went over the pothos. I don't believe that the money tree propagates because of the fact that it's a tree. It doesn't really have a way to propagate like plants do. It's a little different. As far as the Christmas cactus goes, I'm not actually sure on how to propagate that properly. I have an idea in my head of how to do it because I believe I read it somewhere, but I don't want to give you false information and then have you follow it and it be wrong. So, anyway, so we're just gonna use some plants. Um, I hope that you enjoyed the video. Let me know if you do. I hope you do. Video that I've been wanting to make for a while. Sorry. I've been wanting to make it for a while because I really, really love plants. Oh, yeah. If anyone wonders, the plant behind me is a fake plant. It's not a real plant. I just really love that fake plant a lot. um, so, if you enjoyed this, feel free to let me know. You can like or subscribe, or you can hit the little bell icon so that you know when I actually post. Um, Hopefully, maybe we'll post a little more soon. I was thinking for some ideas for videos, and you guys can let me know if you like them, which is I actually have a plant book on how to create a tropical oasis in an age of climate change. And I really like that book, and I think it would be really interesting and make some nice sounds for you. I could show you my book collection if you're interested in that. I won't show you all of them, but I'll show you a good majority. I also thought about showing you my crystal collection. I have some crystals back here and like rocks, but I actually have more over there that are not seen. I could do that. I could do like a shoe salesman role play with a variety of shoes that I have, or we can do maybe some more obscure ones. Maybe have a like, I don't know. I've got a lot that I could do. Um, and again, I apologize for the quality of the video and the microphone. I hope it does get better. Oh, I could also just make videos of me reading different stories. I have the Alice in Wonderland stories. I have the Grimm's Brothers stories, the original ones, the not safe for children ones, I guess is what I would say. A little more dark, but I love them. I can do that. Let me think. That's I could do chemistry for you guys. I could I don't know, try to help teach some things from chemistry, it would help me. I'm in a chemistry class right now. I promise it won't be super difficult chemistry or anything you need to pay attention to. Yeah, I could do showing off my tarot card collection, or I could do a reading tarot card role play, or just a reading tarot card thing. I think that would be really cool. I could show you guys some of my favorite things in my house. I already showed you 6 of my favorite things, which are my plants. And my cats, I don't think made an appearance, but of course they're there too. Yeah, I have a lot of school stuff. I could do a teacher role play or something like that. So let me know what you think. So I can do that. If you have any suggestions, that'd be really great, and I'd appreciate that. So I hope you have a good rest of your night, or day, or afternoon, or evening. Sleep well, my friends.